This is the reading for the Virgo male in a coupled relationship. So I use an anchor spread, and I use the romance tarot cards and the sex tarot cards, and we get right into what's going on here. And hopefully it'll illuminate something for you or create an archway, if you will, to better, communication or better understanding of what's going on, from both ends. I think sometimes we have expectations of others that we're not quite clear on. So hopefully this illuminates something for you. The first card I get for the Virgo male in a coupled relationship is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is that fiery, passionate energy. But we got to watch because he's in and out. He doesn't stay. He doesn't like to be tied down, and he's not really stable. He's just really passionate, right? And he offers that, and then he kind of trips off and goes to another direction. So we may have someone, some Virgo males in a coupled relationship that is really not taking it too seriously, although they're extremely passionate within it. Now, the next card I get is the Justice. This is interesting because the Virgo male single is very similar to this reading. I have a feeling we're having a continuation, but nonetheless, Justice. So you may be involved with a Libra, or you may be in a situation where there is some kind of justice being worked out in the relationship that you're in, okay? Or you have to make justice happen. One or the other. Feeling for some it will be that you make justice within this relationship, or that you're working it out within it, okay? So the next card I get is the Five of Wands, which is interesting because the Five of Wands is really that before we start dating, before I get to know you, it's like, hey, you interest me. It's like that first spark, that first step that they take forward to get to know someone else. So that's interesting that we're getting that in a coupled relationship. So we'll see where this goes. Now, the card I get on the sex side is the Seven of Cups. So here we go. The Seven of Cups is really about fantasizing. I really am taking this as to be not grounded at all. So you may be fantasizing in the relationship that you're in about hitting up on someone else, turning someone else on, getting, you may not be on the level where you're being as pleased as you want to be in the relationship that you're in. So you may be in a situation where you're fantasizing about going in another direction, being with someone else, trying to lure someone else, okay? The next card I get is the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is a water sign. They're compassionate, kind, caring, considerate, intuitive, gentle, usually. Very much kind of a mature energy I'm feeling from you. Feeling this person is being older. But anyway, I feel like this is kind of the object of your affection. Like if you're in the relationship you're in, I feel like you may not be disloyal, but again, your mind is going in that direction. You're already, you've charged in, you've taken the damsel, you've brought her back to your cave, you've done what you want, and now you're kind of disinterested and you're looking about going in a new direction. Sorry, I'm making it sound bad, but this is the energy that I'm getting for this. So the next card I get on top of that Queen of Cups is the Lovers. And the Lovers is really, you have a man here with two women, and we're talking about a male Virgo. So, making it jump to another one, I just not feeling really connected, I think, is the problem here. So we're having to make a choice in that way. And I feel like the choice is going to be on the side of someone who's a little more compassionate than what you're feeling here. Now, the next card I get is the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is really about, there's two women and one man, and both are not happy. So there's a sense here that some kind of a fight or struggle is happening, and it may be within your relationship, and that's why now it's time to look elsewhere because we're fighting and squabbling. Okay. Now on the sex side of things, we have the Three of Wands. So we may have had some grounded sex within our relationship, or are still, again, it may be on the lines of fantasizing about getting that uh, good sex partner, the one that is your match, because they both have those ribbons, right? So they're both of equal passion, and there's a lot of passion, right? Because it's the 3 of Wands, so it's fiery, and so wanting to feel all of that. So we may have actually started to step in that direction and are getting flack from our partners. So be aware of that. I think you are aware of that if that's the situation. But to note, right? So the next romance card I get is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is that sturdy male. He's usually not disloyal. He's not on the grounds of a cheating relationship. He's grounded, stable financially, stable mentally, emotionally. Not much gets him riled up. So the card I have to express that in the sex side is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is really about the end of a relationship. We have a 3 of Wands here right above that symbolizes almost like the beginnings of a fiery relationship. Then we have the Ten of Swords, which is boom, end, beginning and end. So that really goes with this Knight of Wands energy. You know, he comes in, he makes love, and away he goes. And it's not as rude and brash, but at the same time, this is the scenario, right? So we have an ending here to something, and the Queen of Pentacles is really almost, even though he's in charge of his emotions, he's not going to be as emotionally deep as the King of Cups. So he's not going to have that kind, soft side to him. But I feel like that's really what she's come across. I think he's kind of said, you know what? Nope, I'm done. It's almost like I gotta make a business decision here. And he's made it. Or, because of the fighting going on here, we may have had a situation where we stepped out and it's done because of that. He's feeling a bond to someone else, so it's done. It's ending. Now the next card I get is 15, the Devil, right? So that's that temptation outside of you. And it seems like you just succumb to it, right? You had the temptation, it came at you, you indulged, and now you had a little bit of a mess to clean up, and this is the way it went, okay? So the next card I get on the sex side of things to clarify the Devil card is the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is about a past relationship, a past. We're talking about physical here. So I feel like you may have been in a relationship, okay, you got into. And again, taking things very lightly. Not satisfying, so you're moving on. But even before this relationship that you're kind of in turmoil with, there was someone who did satisfy you. I feel like there's someone in your past who did have an effect on you in a physical sense. And you may be trying to chase that dragon. You may be trying to chase that feeling in other people, but you're not coming across it. You're not getting it. You had a good sex life and you figure maybe this one will carry it. Maybe this one will carry it. And you haven't been able to match that up yet. Okay, that's the sense here. We're chasing a bit of a sexual dragon here, and it's not coming. So your mind is going to that partner that gave you that in the first place. And I feel like this is quite a ways back. The next card I get is the Page of Coins. So the Page of Coins is really that energy. I mean, this guy, he's good for his word, right? Because the coins has really got sort of an integrity that nobody else can quite match, okay? So he really is who he is. And he lets everybody know that in truth, right? He's going to say, I'm footloose, I'm fancy free, and don't hook on to me because I'm not solid at this point, because he's the page, right? So he doesn't want to be hooked in. He's still working on the money, right? The money's sitting there. He's still gaining the money. So that's what his priority is. And the flute just symbolizes the lighthearted way he's taking life at this point. So that's the energy I feel that this Virgo male in the couple is really giving off. And I think I think there's an understanding of him communicating that in a way that wasn't verbal, but enough that he presumed that the woman knew better, or knew that she had no right to claim him because we're just dating, that kind of a thing. I feel like there's a bit of an assumption there. And whether or not that was cleared up, I don't know. But the bottom line is here, he's like, well, she should have known better. She should have known because I told her, but I'm not getting a sense it was the way that the woman needed to hear it in order to take it seriously. Feel like it may have been something in conversation that kind of went over the head of the partner. But nonetheless, that's the energy. We got a lighthearted energy here. I don't want to be tied down. I got priorities. I got to figure out my finances and get that in order. And that's what I'm focusing on. You, not so much, right? And to the degree where, something gets in the way of that. Okay, so we have a little bit of a shifting within this energy. I mean, this is not going to apply to everybody, right? If you're in a good, solid relationship, that some of these messages just come through to those people that are in that way. Okay, so don't take offense if you're in a relationship and you've been in a solid relationship and then you're going, well, no, none of this applies. Well, then it just doesn't apply. Now, the next card I get to symbolize or to expand on here, the Page of Coins, is the Five of Wands. So that's kind of making me understand what's going on here. Really, the Virgo single cup relationship reading is kind of jiving with this. I don't know if I'm trying to make it mash too much or what, but the Five of Wands is about looking outside of your own relationship to another to gain some pleasure. And I don't mean that in a twisted way. It's just you're simply looking outside of the relationship and wondering what's out there. The Five of Wands is that curiosity of someone else in the bedroom. What is it like to be there? And what, I want that kind of a thing. And we got the Devil here. So it's more of an indulging in that energy, right? Is seeking that outside of where you're at. So nonetheless, though, we have an energy of ending here and then diving into finding that one that's going to supply me with the physical satisfaction that I'm not seeming to really pick up on. And I have to get so far in to get them into the physical state of things that it takes me a while. And then through that process, it seems to be like I'm hurting people more than I should be. But it wasn't until I get into the physical state where I know if this is going to be a right fit or not. And that's what I'm getting on the Virgo male. It's like, well, it has to fit in all areas. And it's not fitting here. It's not, the physical side is not getting satisfied. And this guy's going, I don't want to sacrifice the physical side of things. And they have every right to make that choice. They just have to be upfront about it. And I think to a certain degree, he's not, but I mean, he's just walking that line. It's just enough to be legal, So again, we got justice coming for this guy. So be aware of that, it's coming. The next card I get is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is well after. And I feel like this is the Virgo energy. I feel like he's starting to get more. After the relationship is done, he's starting to get more into his heart where he's closed off. So now he's opening it. He doesn't have to guard it anymore. He's going to get into that heart-centered place. Now, the next card I get to signify that is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles in the sex deck is really about a man approaching a woman and her not really being all in. So we have a situation where we may be opening our heart to someone or something that is not our match in that way. Physically being attracted to someone that's not as physically or not as mentally attracted to you. I feel like it's one or the other. I feel like either they're not physically completely attracted to you and therefore not as responsive, or it's there's something missing, And that's just simply, I feel like this woman is disinterested and distracted. Disinterested and distracted. So not to take huge offense, this may be something that can warm up in the future. Now, the next card I get on the romance side of things is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands here, okay, being the last card, I feel like it's a one-night stand. I feel like it's diving in to something. Now, you may be physically attracted to someone, but may not understand that there's a karmic tie there, because he's got a tie around his wrist, and even though she doesn't wear it, it may also symbolize, you know, this relationship, because the Knight of Wands comes in so fast. He could be having a one-night stand with someone that's kind of lingering in some kind of a description of a relationship, because it's not been defined, right? And then he moves on to another one that, you know, there's something a little more there. There's a little more of a bond that wants to work itself out. So that's near the end here, when he starts to come into his heart. And this is over the month of February, but it can linger longer. And I feel like this Virgo male and a couple, it's going to linger over a longer period of time. Now, this one-night stand, what do we have on the physical side? We have the Empress. So we have that epitome of what he is looking for. He seems to come across it, either in another woman or goes back to the past to find that one that he came across. And he may just go back in there and start that all up again, okay? So the Empress is really, she's the symbol of abundance, right? So she's abundant romantically, she's abundant sexually, and I feel that it's overpowering for him in that way to not go in that direction. I feel like he's going in that direction no matter. So that's really what he's going to be working out in that way. So it seems like this dragon he's finally catching, he's got the tail. Oh man, some of the things, but anyway, he's grabbed the tail of this thing and he's going to start climbing. So it's and I feel like this is justified, because this is the relationship that he needed to go in to kind of learn some lessons, because there's a lot more here that he may not have realized the first time around. Yeah, there's something more there, not only on the physical side, but there's something more that can be in all areas. Never gave it that chance. So maybe in his rushing in and out, he you know, is thinking, you know, I can't rush so fast. I shouldn't have rushed so fast through this. And, you know, now he's come across this again. Like I said, I don't know if it's the same energy or not. Let me know in the comments if this hits for you, because I'd like to hear how that worked out. But it seems like he comes across the energy, whether it's in another person that he gets physically satisfied at that point, and then the saga continues, or if it's the actual person from the past, because there seems to be a little bit of devilishness that was going on at that point, but nonetheless something that really, there's a flame there he wants to get back to. So that is the reading for the Virgo male in a coupled relationship. A little bit of tumultuous stuff going on here, but nonetheless fast-paced night. He's just kind of working his way through the line. He's not quite, you know, hitting up on things that he's being satisfied on all levels, but near the end here, it would seem like we might have some hope for that in the future. So for the month of February, happy Valentine's Day. Take care, have fun, and be kind.